the Great Spotted Woodpecker and the Blue Chaffinch, two birds endemic to Tenerife. In part 1 and 2, we talked about the challenges these birds encounter and the conservation efforts that are being done to ensure their survival. In this part, we'll discuss what can be done in the future to improve the conditions for these birds. On our final day, we ventured into the laurel forest, an ecosystem distinct from the pine forest, yet equally vital for the island's biodiversity.
So you see, Tessina, it's another kind of woodland where we are walking now.
Yeah, it looks quite different.
Yes, well, this is the laurel forest.
Okay.
It's a completely different kind of forest.
And can we also find the Great Spotted Woodpecker and the Blue Chaffinch here?
Well, the Great Spotted Woodpecker, possibly is not impossible, but sometimes they come over here. But really, it's on rare occasions. They are very much specialized in the pine forest, and the Blue Chaffinch, never. However, there's another kind of chaffinch. It's considered a species, an endemic species on its own, the Canarian chaffinch. And it looks quite different from the European chaffinch.
It's really cool that you have different kind of habitats on this island and different kinds of animals everywhere, because a lot of animals are specialized in a certain area. When we think about preserving birds on Tenerife, we need to consider the island as a whole. Different organisms working together create functioning ecosystems. One can influence the other, so it's important to keep the bigger picture in mind.
Even species that you would not think they are specially related to the woodpecker, to the chaffinch, but they form part of the ecosystem, and research is necessary. We really just care about those things that we really know.
Yeah, it could be like a tiny microorganism or just something really, really small that we don't even see, and it could be really important, right?
And I would like to stress that nature in the Canary Islands is quite special, partially to a great degree because of being a volcanic archipelago. Nature tends to evolve in particular ways on volcanic archipelagos. Life starts anew on a volcanic island, so it ends in having ecosystems that are very special, that we don't find in many other places.
Ensuring the preservation of biodiversity on the island is vital for the protection of endemic birds. What actions must we take to support wildlife both today and in the future?
It's not new things mostly, but really continue with activities and programs that have already started. But there's still a lot of work to do.
Key actions that must be ongoing include reforestation, the removal of exotic species and too densely planted trees, fire prevention, and providing water sources during droughts. Additionally, knowledge about responsible behavior needs to be imparted to people on the island. And probably education also plays quite an important role in that, right?
Oh yes. Yeah. For the long term, especially planting the seed in the new generations, and not only the young generations, of course, but a little bit the older ones also as well.
Yeah.
Even the tourists.
So maybe like a small solution could be they show videos in airplanes, so people know, oh, okay, I'm landing in Tenerife now, and this is what I should be aware of and what I need to keep in mind when I visit the woodlands here.
Yes, because they're going to make activities in the wild, in the paths, in hiking or sports activities. And they should know where they are, and why that nature is fragile, and why we should make as possible for preserving it.
Yeah, and hotels could also be involved in that, right?
Oh yes, they could, and try to avoid noisy activities.
Yeah, because to us humans, it's like, there's another car, so whatever. But to many animals, it's really, really scary. We really need to show empathy, because many animals perceive things in a very different way. Yeah.
Sometimes people may think, well, but I'm not doing any disturbance.
Exactly.
I don't see any especially many birds here in the area, but it's precisely because of the disturbance that the birds fly away from some places.
Many conservation efforts require additional funding. Politicians, businesses, residents and visitors must show an interest in preserving Tenerife's wildlife. Only when the island's ecosystems remain intact, Tenerife remains a thriving place to call home to people and animals.
Looking at the future, are you hopeful for this island? Like when you think about in 100 years?
I am hopeful. I am worried about some things, but I'm hopeful and I have to be hopeful. Even though we have suffered fires and very recently a very terrible fire.
Forest fires are among the biggest threats. We've seen trees that have burned but have managed to recover. The resistance of nature is strong, but we also need to fulfill our part if we want to fight for conservation. If people from diverse backgrounds unite their efforts, we can work towards a future where the forest regenerates even stronger. We have learned so much about the problems the birds of Tenerife are facing, but also about the solutions that could help them in the future. Whatever the future may bring them, we wish the birds of Tenerife good luck.
It's not in your eye, is it?
Oh no, I think it's
Sorry.
alright. I need to see.